Let's go. Let's talk with, do you want to talk with Shane or with Angelo?
Let's talk to Shane.
Sounds good. Shane, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts today? What you calling about?
Just the way that people misrepresent God.
Okay. By people, do you mean atheists, Christians?
Christians.
Okay.
Because atheists don't have a problem with it. But Christians, they define God into existence in a way that he could never possibly exist.
I would not paint with that broad a brush, my friend.
I couldn't understand that.
I said I would not paint with that broad of a brush.
It's meant to be broad.
Yeah, I define God as like the universe, man.
Oh, well, yeah, we can go there. But you're an atheist, so of course it would be the universe. It's all inclusive.
So Shane, that's not actually my position. That is an argument that a believer can bring to you that completely shatters what you're saying.
Well, of course.
Yeah, so I wouldn't use terms like all Christians or all believers, but just this is maybe an issue that you've come into some problems with, and do you want to talk about it maybe?
Yeah, well, that's the reason for saying all, is so that you'll guide me.
Okay.
Well, we are guided.
Because I'm obviously going to be offensive with that statement because it's...
so you're giving
broad.
us content with a capital C. I like it. Okay, Shane.
So what I would like is for you to help me.
Okay.
The main thing that I had to say is that I tend to agree with atheists, the way that they look at life.
Okay.
But
cool.
What that doesn't account for is personal experiences I've had that would convince me that there is a God.
Well, so we're not going to argue with you on that. What we're going to argue with is, should your personal experiences convince us?
Oh, hell no.
Okay, so
Nope.
you sound like a great person. I would probably love to get to talk to you, but I really don't care what convinces you about a thing. I've met people who are convinced by terrible, terrible things, and as long as why should we care?
Well, because, first off, as God, I want to put something forth that since the universe exists and consciousness is just an emergent state.
Okay. I hate to be pedantic here, Shane. It sounded like you just referred to yourself as God.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, this took a turn.
Yeah.
Hi, God.
If we're specifically, trying to stay away from pathologizing people, Shane, are you being serious?
Oh, absolutely.
You are God.
Yes.
Cool. Why is the world the way it is, Shane? Why'd you do this?
Because that's just the way that it is.
So
things are created in an imperfect state, so they're naturally going to deteriorate. There will be no perfection and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, so how did you come to the conclusion that you were God? And I'm playing along here, but if I get the sense that this is really something that you believe and that we are punching down, I'm gonna probably get us off the call. But until then, I'm very curious how you found out that you were God.
Through a lifetime of study, practicing, just trying to make an understanding of the whole thing.
Okay. What did you study to determine that you were God? Is there a book I can study to see if I am too?
Oh, no, because ultimately it's just a realization that you come to by yourself.
Okay, so I'm assuming that when you say you are God, that's kind of like someone saying the universe is God, or like we are all divine in some way, or we're all connected, right? It's a way of looking at yourself and kind of like seeing what you like about yourself or something. Like you're not actually saying you started this whole thing, right?
Well, we could go there, but that's all unnecessary.
I think that if God, the creator of the universe, is calling into this show from Utah named Shane, it's very necessary to figure this out.
What's important? Okay, if we're going to say God, let's define it.
Yeah, please.
If Jesus was God, then I am God.
Because you are Jesus.
Because Jesus was a person, and you are a person, and all people are God. We're trying here, man.
What it is he just has a message that he was carrying. The importance of who he is just because he was trying to talk to the officials at the time, the people that knew.
Okay, hold on a second. So are you speaking for yourself, or are you trying to speak for everybody? Because there are a hell of a lot of people who say that no, Jesus was the figure who is God incarnate, who came down to earth to sacrifice himself to himself as the fulfillment of prophecy, not just that he had a message, right?
Yeah, they can say that, but I mean, how much sense does that make?
I mean, not a lot.
Almost as much sense as saying that you yourself are God. So I'm trying to wonder.
Okay, hold on. We're getting to the definition here. Please define what you mean by God. Is it somebody who has a message for authority figures? What are you start trying to say?
The only reason. It's just to try to say that, look, I have some knowledge about the subject.
Okay.
That does not seem like a useful definition for the word God.
Well, God is an absolutely worthless definition.
Okay, so.
Are you like one of those like what's that absurdist religion that Mordred was part of? Oh yeah.
I've got the book in my room.
Yeah. Are you like are you a Poe? Is this a we actually agree and you're just trying to make a funny definitional joke about the word God?
The same way Satanists will kind of go on about how they worship Satan but are just atheists.
No, I am not a Poe. Generally, I'm having an experience that is true to me. I'm not saying it's true to anybody else. But with this experience,
well, so here's the problem, Shane. When you say something is true to you, do you think you have your own truth, or do you think that we live in a universe where the truth is the truth regardless of who experiences it?
The truth is relative.
That is a fundamental disagreement that we're going to have. Does 2 plus 2 equal not 4 in some other context like that? Like, I mean, we're doing our best to use these definitions to describe as accurately as possible the world around us, and it sounds like this definition of God is not serving to provide clarity, but it just kind of muddies things.
Oh, I get it. I get it. I guess I'm trying to talk to people that have had a similar experience and are trying to make sense of it, and are trying to.
Okay. Well, let's put that into practice. So somebody has an experience and they're trying to make sense of it. Where does your approach of telling them that you're God or that they might be a God helpful versus clarifying those things? Like, how is that even useful?
In this conversation, it's not. I guess what I'm doing is I'm talking to some of these religious, the ones that are supposed to be the professionals on Christianity.
Apologists.
And they're telling how it is, and this is how it is, and I'm saying that's not how it is, that they are wrong.
Oh, so you're essentially you're doing what Eric does when he says, I created the universe, where you're giving an alternate, no, you're wrong, this is the way it is, and I know because I'm God.
And so we have to start working on how we justify things?
No.
Okay. So Shane,
it's the kind.
Shane, I think that I'm not sure that you're not a Poe, and I'm also not sure that you are very serious, and we are being very mean to you right now by making fun of something that is real to you in a way that it might need some medication. So what we're going to do is we're going to put you on hold for now. But if you want to call back with a more concise version of this and actually give us your definition of God, please feel free to do that.
There is not. Okay.
Okay. Have a good rest of your day, Shane.
So for those people who want to use that whole "well, I did it" argument, be upfront with the fact that you're not actually, you don't actually think that it's a tool.
Yeah, here's, yeah, I have feelings about this call. Like, on the one hand, it could be that we were on the same page and we were going to talk about how God is a term that is fluid and can be used to mean anything, and that's cool. But also, it did sound like he was trying to give us an argument that was not constructed for us anyway. Like, he's like, I'm talking to apologists, and cool, but we're not apologists, so do you want our help with it? Or, why call here?
I adore the pedants in the live chat. You are home. This is where you belong. These are your people. These are my people. You are my people. So people are saying, Eric, the 2 + 2 argument, stop using it because here are examples. I'm assuming that most people I'm talking to do math in base 10 and understand the context that is in. If you want to give me a better example to use in the future, go for it. That's freaking hilarious, though. And that level of pedantry is, it's delicious. So we talk about, a skeptic generation. This show is skeptic generation. And we've gotten messages from people who are like, well, I'm older, and so I'm not part of your generation, but I'm so proud of this skeptic generation. And it's a frame of mind. It's a way that you approach the world, and it's something that I think we have gotten to inherit from people like James Randi, who, passed away recently. He wasn't in the same generation as us, but you better believe that it's that generation of asking questions, and it's growing. And so if you're watching this, if you are part of asking important questions, wanting to have good reasons for the things that you believe, and being a bit of a pedant sometimes because you don't want to leave things to a muddy, unknown, cloudy kind of definition. You want to be clear and concise because you want to move forward understanding people and making sure that you are understood. You are part of the skeptic generation. And I think that is very well underlined from that last call. So that's my rant. Okay.